all teary-eyed.
How do you monitor of where this tragedy happens so you can offer them this option?
How do we monitor where it happens?
How do you find
Monitor
these
this.
people?
Oh, okay. So a couple of ways. Right now, I have a friend that works in the hospital. She phones me every time there's a baby death. When we went through this tragedy, we went to a therapist. Her name is Ann Prescott. She's amazing. And she only works with those who have lost children. And literally, she won't work with anyone else, and that's her specialty. So I'm in contact with her. She lets me know because she knows as a bereaved mom, I can offer a lot of assistance to them, and I kind of know where they stand with it. That's one way. My sister-in-law is this is random. She's a hairdresser, and she has a lot of clientele. She told them one young lady about me. She's a chaplain in Richmond, and she's also asked for gowns. So far it's been word of mouth and contacts that I knew of when I was going through the tragedy, and also I'm in a support group for bereaved moms as well, so they spread the word.
Are you a nonprofit?
We are a nonprofit as of this.
A corporation, and who do you go to for funding?
So, we're working on that. Right now, that's the reason that we're having the ball and also the walk. We're trying to find funding options. We're very new at this, but we're learning as we go. And we're just reaching out, we're sending letters, and we hope that now we will get some funding.
So you're looking for foundations and
Yes.
endowments and that kind of.
Yeah.
Recently, since the article was published and
Oh,
other things.
what'd you say?
Recently, since the article posted and just through Facebook and other social media means, it's opened up the floodgates. There are a lot of different avenues and organizations that are reaching out to us. We're just trying to find our way through, wade our way to figure out what's going to work best. And we're really not turning anything down, but it's been a flood of information coming to us.
Now, one idea is there's quite a few church conventions that are here in the area that I think would love to hear your story and the opportunity as they help their church family in times of need. So that might be an idea to find out what large church conventions are held in the area and ask to be on that agenda.
Thank you.
I was really impressed that you are sewing each gown and clothing item yourself personally now, and that you pray over each item. What is your vision as this continues to grow, when it becomes to the point that you can no longer do that unassisted?
So it's there.
Already?
That's a great question because I can't sew.
She
can't look me.
Yeah.
I don't think anyone would turn a dress down, but they'd probably begrudgingly take the one that I sew.
So we're reaching out through social media, asking for seamstress. I've linked up with some ladies at Community Service, a community church in Chesapeake, and they're willing to help me. But community church, the way they do it is any ministry. So they sew gowns for the Philippines, they sew gowns for Haiti. So when you come in, you don't know necessarily that they're gonna wanna work on Kennedy's angel gowns that day. So I don't necessarily have a group per se. I did stop by to get my machine cleaned, my sewing machine cleaned, and I got 3 ladies that were just listening to me that signed up to help me sew. So it's kind of been, but I do need help. So if I have seamstress in the audience, please see me after the presentation.
Yes, so, and I don't know if they do this or not, but like St. Jude's, or they're building a lot of the CHKD hospitals, could you let them know, maybe someone in administration, and they might like partner with you as something they offer to families, because those are probably gonna be the main areas, usually where kids go when they have issues, when they're a little older. So they might be able to partner with you and provide funding so that you then in return provide that service for their clientele. So that might be something you guys can look into. I don't know if they do that or not, but.
Yeah, but it's worth a check.
Right. Yeah.
Besides seamstresses, you obviously you need more volunteers, but where are you most limited? What kind of volunteers do you actually need besides seamstresses?
I think I wrote down a list of things I need, actually. I need storage space for these gowns. I think my husband is gonna start, giving me that look soon with all the gowns they're all over the house, they're in, our cars, because I'm literally meeting people, I'm getting them shipped in. So, someone who can help me with that piece of finding things like storage space, someone who can help me with the race. I don't have much experience with running a race, but I don't think there's anything we can't do for Kennedy, so I'm gonna make it happen. But anyone in expertise in that avenue, media coverage, I think would be great to get more participants to attend the ball, because from the ball will come more money into the organization so we can do what we do. Yes.
Have you thought through whether you're building a volunteer organization or whether it will be economically self-sustaining, or, because setting your goals early will probably help you choose your path?
Volunteer, yeah, and we have, on our website, we have a drop-down where you can sign up to volunteer.
What?
Yeah, and I've actually, a local artist just contacted us too to give to the silent auction. She makes mosaic art pieces, so.
You're just aware that as a nonprofit, that doesn't mean that
That you can't.
the work has to be entirely volunteer. You can hire people as needed,
Right.
and even pay yourselves so that you can eat too,
Right.
if you can get your
Right,
funding.
once it gets to that.
I mean, I think our ultimate goal is to remain volunteer, but obviously, depending on how many legs this grows and how far it goes, we may also be forced to maybe change avenues.
Which would be awesome.
Right now, the main goal is just volunteer.
Just two suggestions. One, have you thought of doing, obviously you're gonna have to find, not reliable, but, I don't know what the word I'm looking for is funding, but like crowdsourcing might be a good one for this, because people will attach to it.
Yeah.
Moms, not only through, then you can share that on Facebook and social media. That might be a good way to bring in funding while you're trying to secure bigger
Yeah.
corporations to help fund. Second one is, when I was in high school, I volunteered at our nursing home, and they love to sew. So, and they have a lot of time, and there's a lot of them around here. So I
That's
might
very
go there.
true.
I mean, a lot of the women, they know how to sew. They're just doing it because they don't have anything else. So that would be one place I would be checking for a free volunteer. And I'm sure they would love to have something to, not just sew another scarf, but to have
Right.
something to actually make it
Yeah,
for.
something
So that might
meaningful.
be a good place to kind of go let them know. They
Yeah.
might be willing to help.
That's a good stuff.
So.
Have you talked to anybody at CVN or Region?
No.
Because your story is really beautiful, and how you want it. It's just so 100% volunteer. It really matches in with a lot of what they do, and I can see a story happening here. But maybe I can connect you with some people. I know the people in marketing, on the marketing department at the MBA program, and maybe they can direct you to somebody to get this word out and get more people involved.
So much. That would be awesome.
Tell me about this ball again. When and what's the details on that?
It's gonna be amazing. So, it's called the Angel Ball. It's gonna be held at the Martin Mansion, and that's in Norfolk. It's on April 29th. The early bird ticket sales are $50 per person. It's all white cocktail attire. And we have a live band. We have a student from the governor's school who will play as guests arrive. We have awesome volunteers. One of our volunteers is in the back, a photographer, Michelle Williams. She will be taking pictures of all of the guests. There'll be a photo booth, as well as she'll be taking guests, just featuring all of the guests and everyone that's arrived. We have a young lady from The Voice. Her name is Marissa Ann. She was a voice contestant. She's 19 years old. She was one selected by Christina Aguilera. She's going to sing 3 selections. The band Solid Gold will be performing, and they wrote a special song for Kennedy that will be released on the night of the ball. And then we have a DJ. It's a full course meal, and open bar, as well as hors d'oeuvres.
And is it a per person admission rate, or are you having
Yes.
people sponsor tables?
We do sponsor tables as well. Yep. We had one person sponsor a table so far. Actually, it was my doctor that delivered candy. So that was sweet.
So if you wanna go to the ball, where do you go to buy tickets or find out about it?
It's on Eventbrite, or you can contact me directly. I have business cards for everyone here, and I have flyers. So through me or Eventbrite.
How important is climate control for the storage piece?
It's very important.
Very important. Okay, so like a pod's not a scenario, or if you had like a freeze-dried machine or something like that, you can seal them in. Does that change any of that for you?
It's an option that we obviously could work on.
Okay, so a trailer might be,
Yeah.
so, okay. And the other thing is on the seamstress, I know you got a lot of good impact. We also have here locally London Bridge Trading Company, which is a huge military defense industry. They make nylon manufacturing. They have about 200 seamstresses there, and I've interacted with them, and they're always looking for extra work. So I don't know how we would enter it, and I could probably connect you with Doug McDougall, who owns it, but I would have to think that piece through. But there's a lot of resources for seamstresses here.
Thank you so much.
Also, for the donations, did you consider, like, on your website, do you have a donation method? You know,
Yes.
whoever cannot come can just donate directly?
Yes. Yep,
Okay.
we have a link, if you go on the website and there's a section for donate, if you click on that, you can donate directly to the website and it's through PayPal.
Okay.
And we also have I'm from Rhode Island, so most of my friends live there, they might not be able to travel. They've been purchasing tickets, which has been helpful, even though they can't attend, that way I can have seating for other guests that are performing for free. So, and it was awesome to just have people perform for free. People are really giving. It's two of you.
As you guys grow the organization, what do you think your largest cost will be? Marketing,
Shipping.
spreading the word, shipping?
Marketing, shipping,
But shipping's out, because I thought you were bringing it to them. Are you guys paying for the shipping for the gowns that get donated
sometimes
to you?
people are, as we grow, what I've learned is that some people are gonna ask for gowns in other states.
But right now it's mainly local, but the intent is obviously for it to cross these state lines.
But
And
if-
at that point, then,
Yeah.
if the hospital was willing to work with us to pay for it, then we would do it.
But even if you think about the young lady who needs them in Richmond, it still takes 3 days. So we'll do the quickest way to ship it. I'd have to overnight it.
So are you, for your ball, are you gonna have any kind of auction? Have you,
Yes. There's a
contacted
silent
people?
auction. We have a couple of items so far, and we're still working and hit the social media for that. David's Bridal is, offering to dress me head to toe, which is amazing. And Privé Bridal in Ghent has given me dresses, so, that's helpful. Local artists, gave me a mosaic piece, and then another artist is painting a piece, but I'm not sure what that piece will be. We had another young man who does yard work. He's donating a month of yard work, so still working on that. We have one NHL hockey jersey that is also being auctioned off. So still working on the auction piece, but I know the Clumsy Moose, it's a kid spot. They also offered a couple of gift certificates.
If you could, work in, it'd be a quick learning curve, I guess, on the live auction. That's where you could really, that's where people compete with one another just to spend money.
Like that, like
You
Lula
play your
Row.
little video,
Yeah.
and then you do your auction, and people get out their checkbooks.
That's a
it's
good
cool.
idea.
So it's really strong. And so what you need to do is find a few people to donate something worthwhile. Does anyone have a vacation property somewhere that they let them have it for the weekend, or
Yeah.
I don't know. Kind of, we just need to reach out to see who do we know that has something that would be useful.
Just last thing on my side, We sponsor the Crisis Pregnancy Center, which is a huge location here. I don't know if you're familiar with them. That would be a great introduction for you. It doesn't happen frequently, but it does happen. So they basically take teenage girls that are pregnant and considering abortions, and they help, manage them all the way through delivery and afterwards. So I think that would be a great connection for you guys, and we do a lot of fundraising for them, so I'm definitely gonna get your card and we can chat at a later date about that.
I was just gonna say, I'm not sure if your website specifies what you guys need in terms of funding, but if you are able to calculate what your operating costs will be for the year based on the facts that you know and how much material is required, if you have that number, it really helps people to participate in the donation process, because you have a group of donators who think, oh, I'm gonna get in this to help them get started, and then you have the other group of donators that say, oh, they're almost there, let me help them get that way. So when it becomes something that they can see and scale, then they tend to donate more.
And on that, I don't know if you can do where, like, could someone, if you just figure out what does it cost you to make 1 gown, 2 gowns, 3 gowns, and then on your website you could have where people can sponsor that. Like, I don't have a kid maybe, but I could pay for a gown, and then you just, that racks up, and then I can tell my friend, look, you can pay for a gown too, and it's kind of that goodwill pushing forward thing. So that might be something you guys can incorporate, so people can maybe sponsor gowns if they can't, provide big funding checks and stuff like that.
That's awesome.
Especially if you connect them with the story that gown
Right.
supported.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yes, like, you'll say this gown was sponsored by, or, something like that, yeah. You don't have to say that, but.
With all that in mind, because you guys have such big hearts and you're able to do this without looking for income, it sounds like. But it's important to attach a dollar figure to that, okay? So pretend like you were out of the picture and somebody had to be paid, needed to get paid to make the dresses, to spend a full day working, shipping, like what would that person get paid? And don't say minimum wage, 'cause, you don't want to minimize yourself, okay? So what if you had to hire a manager, a competent person to run the show, and I would add that into your bucket because you want to think ahead to where you want to be, because at some point, you should grow to that point. And no, people cannot work for free, generally speaking. And we can have wonderful volunteers, and that's a beautiful thing, but you need to have that person who's committed, that's got the key, that comes in every day and it runs the show, answers the phone. So I would calculate that in now, because like you're saying, what does it cost to make a gown? What is the numbers, what would it look like, so, and then that gives people who want to invest or participate, then you can say, well, this is what it costs to do this, this, and this, or you can sponsor these, projects. And people who like to participate, if you want to go to businesses and ask for, sponsorship or donations, they can sponsor whatever the package is.
Yeah.
So, you just put it together. So that it makes sense, it's just that, this is all beautiful, but if you say for this, you can get, you can break it down.
Yeah, we thought about that at the last board meeting, kind of putting, this is what it costs to ship a gown. Donate this amount if you'd like to help,
You could sponsor shipping,
Yeah.
sponsor shipping for a month,
Yep.
this much. something
or
like
storage
that.
space, or
Right.
whatever the case may be.
Right.
Did you negotiate for the shipping prices with any company, either UPS or USPS? They have different prices
Really?
for business.
Okay,
So,
I did not know that, wow.
yeah, especially if you are, if you are
Nonprofit.
growing, then, it's completely different. It's almost half sometimes.
Wow, okay.
So I have another one.
No, I love it.
And I'm not a media expert, I don't know if anyone in the room is, but we watched the Today Show, and they have like stories, like news stories like this. I don't know how you would submit it, if they have a link on their website, or if anyone knows, but this seems like something they would just eat up.
That's where I want
I mean.
to get, I don't know how to, but I agree, that's kind of what I see, is this is a story that's
You just see
compelling.
Savannah Guthrie.
So you said you had a story somewhere, where
That was in the Southside Daily.
Okay,
Mm-hmm.
but you haven't talked to the news channels or anything?
No.
Mm.
So, Does anyone know the best way to do it?
Yeah, if you don't know them directly, the best way is to make friends with them on social media and then start recommending stuff that's not your business to them that might add to their portfolio, because everybody's fighting to get that space and to get
Okay.
somebody to get them on the air.
Okay.
And so, like, if you don't know someone, or if you don't have somebody that can introduce you to somebody, that's always the best way. It's all about relationships and starting to share, and then obviously as you're giving them things that help them with their career, they're starting to look at your business a little bit more closer. There's a thing on Hatch, which is here local. There's a whole explanation of how to do that properly. So, start with Hatch.com.
I'd recommend that you contact Cheryl Tan. And Cheryl is the co-host of the Business Weekly show that comes on Sunday with Zach that runs Hatch.
Okay.
But she is a former newscaster and does PR and all, and she might be willing to give you some hints on all how you can plug into that and maybe even be a guest on their show.
Thank you.
It's Hampton Roads Business Weekly.
Yeah.
That's what
Yeah,
it is.
and the event that he mentioned, which is tomorrow night at 5 in Norfolk, that would be a great venue for you guys to be at, because you meet those people.
Yeah.
Be there.
And we had, like a year ago, Hope for My Team, they got on the local news. She might have a contact since she did a story.
Also,
I'll
there's
write that down for you.
Thank you,
Yeah.
thank
yeah,
you.
Tudor. I guess that was one guy doing the
Yeah, Tudor
live.
production,
Yeah.
yeah. All right.
We can, when we're done, and I would like to bring one of your screenshots back up, and I can send a message to Virginia Mobley. And she might have, she's inside one of those stations, right?
Yes, she's one that we want to host, and,
Do you know her? Have you talked to her?
we haven't talked to her. Our event coordinator is trying to reach her.
Doesn't she go to your church?
No.
Not anymore?
Mm-mm, not
She was,
anymore. Yeah,
yeah.
she was, yeah.
We'll do something here at the end.
All right.
Any more
So,
questions?
your question?
We have one last question for you. What can 1 Million Cups do for you?
I know. Spread the word. Just having us here is amazing, but help to spread the word, help with letting people know about the Angel Ball, because that is gonna bring money towards us helping other families. So that would be helpful.
I mean, it's definitely already,
Yeah.
just these
Right,
past
just-
30 minutes, it's
yeah.
been huge.
Yeah.
We want to hand you this cup of coffee. So you can have 999.
Thank you.
All right, so we'll see you guys next week, unless we have any more announcements that we forgot earlier.